Welcome back to AI 500 with Arrow. I'm Arrow, and this is the Blueberry Clash. So my aim point here is the bottom of the bottom green arrow, and I'm doing a not quite full power ascend with accurate windbreak musket. It's that in that 3 wind specifically, it's enough to get the accurate windbreak musket in. Otherwise, for the most part, I'm probably using accurate glide musket to ace run Blueberry 1. On Blueberry 2, I usually use accurate glide musket on a forehand line. If I'm doing the backhand line, I will use an accurate windbreak musket, or in certain winds, like a 3 wind at, say, 2 o'clock. Ooh, so close. Man, that was closer than I remember. It was, anytime you get metal, it's, you knew any closer and you were in. But yeah, I'll also use an accurate windbreak musket in a 3 wind in very specific scenario. Here, whenever it's a left to right wind, I tend to use a glide wind ballista. And I am doing a not quite full power shot once again, hoping to get a kick off of this bank here. And I kind of do. Oh yeah, I get a lucky roll there. So get the shot right, you can usually end up within 70 is pretty lucky. I'd say more commonly you're maybe looking at 80, 90, maybe 100 feet, something like that. If you don't get the bank you need, you might end up having a shot kind of behind a tree. But I think in order to maximize your score, you definitely need the eagle on Blueberry 3. So here I'm using accurate windbreak musket, and I have about the width of the second Wi-Fi curve below it. That's where the top of that disc was there. And just missed wide left there. That's kind of a touchy, you need the right amount of angle on it to hit that shot. Yeah, pretty routine birdie here. For the ace run here, I like to use accurate windbreak river for the most part, unless I get a really strong wind and I need to counter it with the musket. And I was just below that second Wi-Fi curve. Nailed it. Ah, yeah. So here I'm using the bottom of the middle arrow as my aim point to the left of the basket, and I'm right in the line with the bottom of the pin. That's kind of the line that I'm using. 2 in a row. God, just feels great, even in hindsight. Go-to here is almost always accurate glide musket, and I'm using the bottom of the middle arrow, kind of sneaking it right on the other side of those. There's like 3 trees, like there's a little gap below the 2, and sometimes I hit that gap if it's like a boom, 3 in a row, let's go. I was over the moon when I saw that. I was just like, bam, 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 it's awesome. I will sometimes run this with a GlideSkit Ballista Pro, but it's a really tricky shot, and if you miss it, this is about the aim point for that. I'm using an accurate glide musket here and just doing a full power send. But if you miss the GlideSkit Ballista Pro shot, there's maybe a coin flip chance you're going to end up behind the tree on the other side of this hill. You can still make birdie if you get used to throwing through collision. But yeah, I mean, once I hit the 3 aces in a row and I knew I was gearing up for a 13, I definitely didn't want to get too greedy. So I'll only run 8 and 9 on Blueberry if I'm trying to maximize record and I'm not satisfied with where I'm at so far. But once I hit the eagle on 3 and 3 aces in a row, I'm feeling really good about this round. Yeah, accurate windbreak river here. You can hit this line, but it's tricky. But if you miss it, you can see right here, you have a really easy putt for the birdie. So other discs that you can possibly hit this line with are Compass, Explorer, and Pioneer. They work really great. If you use a musket, you can hit it, but it's really dangerous and it's super likely you're going to end up behind the trees. So can't really recommend that too much. With this wind, I'm going to use the accurate windbreak river again. But again, I'm not really trying to run Blueberry 9 and 8 unless you get like the perfect wind or unless you really need it in order to maximize what you're trying to do. So when I recorded this round, when I shot this round, Lonely Belgian had not yet gotten his 26 down. So that's a little bit of context for some of the decision making that I'm making here. So yeah, once again, could use the Glide Skip Ballista Pro, but my go-to line here is just Accurate Glide Musket all day. Really just trying to, most of the time I'm actually trying to park it and see if I can get a tap in. I think anytime you have an opportunity, and that was pretty close to it if I didn't, yeah. Anytime you can set yourself up for the tap in, you're just further minimizing any like stupid chain out situations. So here you can see what I'm talking about. I'm using the bottom of the middle arrow, nestled right in the crest of those trees underneath the 2. Full send. And let's try. I hit it again on it. So you can see how consistent that line is for Blueberry 7. Really reliable. I know some people use the Accurate Glide Pure for this shot, especially in a 3 kind of headwind situation. I'm aimed just on the right side of that tree stump and trying to make the field goal here. Top of the disc is right at the top of the curve, and that's to counter the headwind. Sometimes I'm edging just a little bit above that to get the right power, and this I don't even think I got the right amount of power there, but the wind just really pushed it over to the side there, so that one's kind of tricky. If you aim on the left side of the stump, sometimes it doesn't go far enough and you miss wide left. But really, my main thing is I'm trying to run it without leaving myself like an 80-foot comebacker in a 3 wind. That's just unnecessarily difficult. With this 1 wind, I'm kind of like aiming the bottom of the bottom green bubble, or the bottom green arrow, right at the bottom of the blue bubble. Then slide it all the way to the right. Sometimes that's enough to let the wind kind of just carry it in. Top of the disc is like right in the middle of the second Wi-Fi curve. And in this case, the wind almost didn't bring it over at all. I was pretty kind of disappointed with that shot, but I don't think I had enough power on it anyway. I think I probably needed to be below the second Wi-Fi curve. So, oh well. Bit of a missed opportunity there, not really a true ace run, in my opinion. With this 3 wind, I tend to like to do a forehand shot, and I think it's good to have a balance of some forehand, some backhand shots, depending that are wind dependent. So here I'm using the bottom of the middle arrow as my aim spot. That's like right on the crest of the hill, and then I think I'm forgetting and trying to remember where my kind of ideal aim spot is here, so I'm just sort of playing this one by ear. This is not a true crosswind like at 3 o'clock, it's more of like not at 9 o'clock, it's more of like a 10 o'clock wind. So I was trying to adjust for that, and I just missed that one too. One thing, if you use an Accurate Glide Musket here, you can definitely wind up behind these trees. And even with the 68-foot, this comebacker is not necessarily a gimme in the 3 wind. Yeah. Or Dizzle will tell you he wants to be within putting range. He wants to be able to angle it up and just throw it in. I personally prefer my throw-ins. I've had all kinds of shenanigans happen with the putt function, so I'm sure that's something I could improve on as well. But still just rolling along here. And so now I'm kind of a little bit nervous. I have definitely I do not consider this hole a gimme eagle at all. And with the headwind, even just of 1, I'm a little nervous I'm either going to hit this first tree. So I'm putting just a touch of Anheuser on this, not quite full power with the Glidewind Ballista, trying to get around this first tree on the right. You can see I'm like messing with the camera pan and the Anheuser, just sneaking around. If you get collision with those first branches, and then you can see I played it a little too close to the tree, but I'm also trying to avoid that right range of trees. This leaves me with 141 feet, so I'm thinking I kind of messed up my solid run at this point. But I know I've made these kinds of shots before, so I'm just taking my time. I'm on the left side of the basket, bottom of the top arrows at the bottom of the top band. And I'm really trying, you can see I'm just like taking my sweet time to make sure I've got my aim spot right before I pull back and mess with camera pan. I'm about the width of the first Wi-Fi curve below the Wi-Fi curve. So the top of the disc is. It's about 140 feet. And I'm experimenting to try to see, do I think I need to put a little bit more oomph on it? Just trying to make sure I get over the cage, and bam! Man, when I nailed that, it felt so good. Just felt like I captured what I really needed to from this run, and now I know I have 2 more ace runs to go. See if I can hit either one of them, or ideally both. There's one tailwind. I'm glad I can show you an alternative line here. bottom of the middle arrows nestled in those trees there. Just below the second Wi-Fi curve. A little bit of Anheuser. You get this right, you can hit this ace. And in this case, even if you clip that tree, even if you hit it, you are generally going to have a very easy birdie putt still. And I prefer this line in a lot of wins because you can see that comebacker is only 24 feet, as opposed to if you run it with the accurate glide musket on the forehand line, you can still sometimes have like a 60, 70, sometimes even more than 70-foot comebacker. Don't love this wind for this hole anytime you have a left to right crosswind, but I'm using my accurate glide musket and trying to make a little bit of magic happen here at the end. Pretty good run. It's not going to do it, but I was feeling overall, I mean, still really good. I got Blueberry 3 on both rounds, and I got a total of 4 aces. So at the time when I shot this was the course record until Lonely Belgian did his AI algorithm thing. So course record is officially 26 down. But thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna hit up the B series or the B tier AI tournaments next.